and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 8th of December, everybody. I have my stuff ready. I do forget what's in each one, and then it takes me a minute to remember. So this is day 8 of our 24-day Advent, and there's a few different colour variants of this, but this is a little tape measure. It does have centimetres and inches. We did make sure it works for both sides of the world, but for those that do work in inches, it can be handy, even if you just use it as a comparison. So if you say a 30 by 40, go 30, turn it over, see it in your language, and know what size it is, it can be really helpful. I've actually used this I actually pinched one that we had as a spare, because I have a tape measure here in my craft room for when I'm doing unboxings, but I also needed one in the new Add More Zest space. I am planning on putting this one into my handbag, because there are many a times that I can, you know, as I was saying the other day in relation to frames, for example, for some really weird size paintings, it can be really handy to have a tape measure to actually find out the size of a frame, or the inside size of a frame, to determine if your picture will fit in it, even if the mount inside it has multiple different photos. So it's a good staple to have. I don't think, well, I can't have too many tape measures. There was a period of my life when I didn't have any, and probably suffered because of it, but now I have a couple. I have one in my Add More Zest space, and I'm going to pop that one in my handbag so that I have one for when I'm not at IKEA, where they provide a paper one. That's the other time that you know, a tape measure definitely comes in handy in IKEA, but quite often they provide them. Unfortunately, not everywhere does. So we're on to section 8 today, and there's not as much white on this one for sure. I'm using this gorgeous pen. This was made and gifted to me by Brianne and her boys. And I'm using the tray from November of last year, 2022. We did this tray in a very festive green. I thought it matched the pen. It actually matches with sort of the cover paper as well, but I'm mainly going for matching pens and trays. It's quite fun picking out which one I'm going to use for the next day. But yeah, I hope everybody is well. My magnetic bars for White Christmas turned up today, so it'll probably be this weekend. I will do the framing on camera and then have the video up between Christmas and New Year, and show you what it all looks like. I know exactly where it is going to go. I just need to get it, of course, into the frame, or in this instance the magnetic bars, which I ordered from Amazon. So yeah, they've arrived today. Apart from that, I don't think I have any huge updates from the last 24 hours. I have been slowly refilling stock items and things, as well as packing orders, getting those out and preparing things for launch. So it is launch today, as you guys are watching this, at 9 PM Greenwich Mean Time. So 5 hours after this video goes up, it is launch time for our new products. Our last launch of the year, but definitely ready for an exciting 2024. So I do have a comment that was left on White Christmas, but I did keep it in because I thought it was a mighty fine idea. So Brianne said that she is planning to use a little 4x6 photo album, so one that you would typically use to carry printed pictures in, and she's going to use that to put the pretty patterned cover papers in. She said then she can flip through to see all the fun designs. She says, but she does also like the idea of the plastic sleeve. So there is an option for storing pretty cover paper, is to pop it into like some sort of little flip photo holder, so that you can just file through. I think somebody also said an index card box as well the other day. So I'm sure there will be many ideas that start floating around, and you can pick which one works best for you if you are a cover paper kind of gal or guy. Shadow Kitty said, thank you for the amazing video. She said she opened both the Add More Zest Advent Calendar and the Diamond Art Club one before December, and has enjoyed the items in both. She said she has her Advent Calendar painting, which has been a joy to work on. And she's found that doing a little bit of a painting, i.e. a set amount of a painting, so actually, structured rather than just I will do some, has really helped with her mental health, and has made each day enjoyable. She said she either works on it first thing in the morning with a cup of coffee, or in the evening with a cup of tea or cocoa. She's really enjoying this experience and looks forward to the remaining days to come. She says thank you for all that you do, as it helps many of us through hard times. Well, I'm so happy that it is working for you. It's something I really enjoy doing. I've always said I do. The WIP and Waffles are one of the best videos to make, even if they are time consuming. They're one of my favourites to make because I just get to chat with you all. But I do love the sort of structure of the section a day. I don't like it every month. I think it doesn't become as exciting when it's every month. But I've definitely thrown a few months in there in different projects. So like my Heaven and Earth design, I threw in doing a section a day for a month and really focusing on it for a month, and then switching to something else. And yeah, it gives you an achievable goal to focus on, and you get something finished at the end of it. So yeah, it's fun, and I'm so glad that it's helping you at the moment and helping you with your mental health. I'll have to try and think of a few other things. Maybe if anybody's got any suggestions, because we already established the likes of the June Waffle and the December event where we do a section a day throughout a month really works. But if anybody else like me, finds that I can't do that all 12 months of the year, is there any other varieties that people do to change things up a little bit? Any other little challenges that you might set yourself for other months, or you set yourself in the past? that could maybe we can create a list of goals during this WIP and chat, of little challenges that we can decide to set ourselves each month to sort of just give us that, you know, bit of time to diamond paint, but the fun with it. If that makes sense. Diamond painting's fun, but, you know, that extra little spark to just make it a little bit different. Let me know if you've got any suggestions. Susan, she said she loved today's advent item, which was day 3. She said the wax tools come in handy, she said, for so many things. She says, like me, she says she uses the steel tip for nudging and pushing the drills down. Yes, quite often I will take the cap off both ends of the pen. It depends whether I'm placing the AB diamond straight away or whether I'm placing them around other ones, but it can be great for nudging. She said, another wonderful WIP and Waffle. She is almost done with her cards. She says, so thanks for keeping me company, and she'll see me tomorrow. You will, and each day through. Amy, she said, you could put the Add More Zest logo diamond paintings that I did up in the office. That is a very good idea, Amy. It did cross my mind at one point, and then it went out of my mind and didn't come back. So thank you for reminding me. I did do a couple of custom paintings, one in round, one in square, from Coup Deals, of the Add More Zest logo. So that would be a very nice addition to one of the walls. And I do still have some walls left for now that aren't covered in stuff. Sarah, she said, hi Rebecca. She said, small story for you about the day 2 gift. She said when she first opened it, she does admit that she was confused at what the little pot was for. But as soon as she opened it and saw the nut inside, she was like, oh, yes, I can see where you're going with this. She said being a long-time subscriber helped with that mystery. She said anyway, she thought the little pot was cute, but she actually has one of the 3D printed diamond grinders. So she figured she probably wouldn't use the pot too much. She said, well, she was working on her current painting while watching this WIP and Waffle, and it has a ton of stuck together drills. She said, so she thought it was the perfect time to try her little pot. She said, well, let me tell you, she said it was so much easier than the grinder and it didn't hurt her hands. She said, guess she spoke too soon. She said she thinks her poor 3D printed one is going to be rather lonely going forward. She said, have a great day and thanks for the pickup pen for day 3. She said she can't wait to try that one out. I'm so glad that they're getting use already. They are just adorable. Adorable little pots. I like the stories too. Gray Legrand says she has just finished her day 3. She said she has finished, and she finished before me. Yay! She said, but she did multi-place some of the colours. She said it's so much fun to see the canvas come to life. She said, looking at mine, she says we have 2 sections in common because she too randomly placed her cover papers. Sections 23 and 24. We're matching on. She said the 24th is her birthday. Well, if I forget before then, do make sure you have an amazing birthday on the 24th. She said she got home this evening after dark, did the necessary things, and then opened her advent calendar and popped onto the video with her canvas. She says, it's good to hear that I'm on the mend. She said, many thanks to you and your family, and what your family does to support the business and the community. She says she's looking forward to December launch. She said, my goodness, that limited edition tray colour. It is beautiful, that one. It's turned out so much nicer than, you know, like we can see the colour. In effect, it's true form, but until it's in a tray, just don't quite know if it's, I don't know, if it just looks what you're expecting it to look like. But yeah, I think somebody mentioned it looks very much like a fruit salad sweet, and I think that's very true. It's fruit salad colours, and it's printed gorgeous. It's printed as a really nice tray. Beth said she feels for me with the chest infection. She said she has one too, as well as a sinus infection. Also, she said antibiotics aren't working. Ooh. Sometimes you either need a different type or another round. I have had that before, where antibiotics haven't worked the first round, but the second round has. I quite often have a different type of antibiotic now, just to ensure that it sort of gets it. And as I say, it definitely feels like the chest infection part has cleared up. It's just as it gets later on in the day, my voice and my throat suffers a bit more. So unfortunately, that means often when I'm filming these videos. So it might take a while for my voice to clear up completely. My mum said I sounded better when I spoke to her on the phone today, but that was this morning for me, so time has passed since then. Lily says, hi Rebecca. She said it is her first time ever to join/register for the giveaway contest. She says she's loving her advent calendar diamond paintings. She is doing both the 2022 and the 2023 calendars together, and she's opening her goodies each day. She said, so her Christmas this year is very Admiral Zest themed. She says, love your channel, blessings to you and your family. Oh, thank you. So yeah, just while we have had a giveaway mention, I will just remind anybody that this is the first video they're watching. I am doing a giveaway for December. I have multiple different paintings primarily, a couple of storage cases, and probably some accessories from Admiral Zest as well. I'll be throwing some of those in. So multiple prizes to be won. You only need to enter once, and we will be doing random number generators between Christmas and New Year, and picking a winner for each prize. So there's lots of prizes that will be going to lots of different people. To enter, you just need to go to admiralzest.com and click on the giveaway tab. If you're on a mobile, just click on the little lines at the top right hand corner and then choose giveaway. Pop in the password, which is Holly, all lowercase, and then just follow the instructions on screen and that will enter you into the draw. One entry per person to make it fair. As I say, entries will be open until probably Christmas Day or the day after when we remember to turn it off, and then we will do the draw between Christmas and New Year, and email the winners. I'm also probably going to pop up a list just with maybe an unidentifiable part of somebody's name, so maybe their first name and just the initial, just to show who has sort of won each thing. And yeah, we'll send a load of emails out and then get them out to people in the new year, when they won't get stuck on the multiple bank holidays waiting to go through the postal system. So we'll send them all out in the new year and get them all on their way to the new homes. Crystal, she says hello. She said she opened the second day Advent and just started laughing. She said she knew, and she also knew immediately, that this was the one thing that some people didn't know what it was for. She does say that no Christmas tree or decorations are going up where she is. She said it's only been 3 months since Wes passed away, and just getting through each day is enough. Well, you take care of yourself. And if no decorations it is, no decorations it is. So decorating would break me. In that case, don't do it. Definitely don't do it. You know, you've got to do what works for you. And if it's no decorations, it's no decorations. That's for sure. So this Advent the diamond painting this year is perfect for her. No Christmas, just beautiful pictures that remind me of good things. Oh, and she said, by the way, she misses hearing me say, I'll speak to you all again tomorrow. Yeah, when I film all my other videos, my other types of videos, I often say I'll speak to you soon, because I can move videos about, and some days I might not have a video tomorrow, and some days when I'm actually filming it, I don't know if I have a video for the next day. It might be scheduled, but I don't check. I just do the videos I need to do, whatever they may be, and I don't know whether there's gaps in them or not. I just know that they need filming, so I try to keep the speak to you tomorrow when I know I will be, which is basically WIP and Waffle time. Makes it a little bit different. Kim, she said no Christmas decorations yet for her. She said her bathroom remodel that she hated shopping for begins on Monday, December the 4th. Hubby and herself had to empty the linen closet, under the sinks and the drawers in the vanity to move them to the second bathroom. She says she's so thankful for 2 bathrooms. Yeah, it was entertaining for us when we had our bathroom done, because we only have one. We were constantly left with a toilet. It was ensured that, like, you know, that was left there and everything was worked around before it was in effect swapped for the new one. But we did go to my sister-in-law's for showers and things for a couple of days until ours was done. She said she thinks she's pretty good at organising. She says there was more stuff than was imaginable. She said she will eliminate some things before taking it back for sure. You know you're good at organising when you empty a room and find everything that is tucked everywhere. The amount of things that came out of this craft room was unbelievable. The amount of things that were tucked in certain places. And I knew where they were. I knew that they were there. But yeah, if you can tuck really well, it's amazing how much less space things take. Kim also says, she says, are you not travelling to Australia this year? No, I tend to Normally I only tend to go to Australia every couple of years rather than every year. So I did sort of squeeze in a little bit of a smaller trip last time to keep Caris company on her way to Australia, and it was a very good reason / excuse to see my family as well, but it's normally only every couple of years that I tend to go. So no Australia this Christmas. I will be staying in the cold UK. Tiffany says, okay, she says, well, she's been using the pot wrong. She said she made it a container for her trash drills. And it can be a container for your trash drills. We may have made it with the purpose of you being able to separate drills, but it is your pot. You can use it for whatever you want. Yeah, and trash drills is another actually really good idea for using the pot. So use it for what you will, for what suits you. It's just where you're going to put the nut that came in it in case you want to use it for breaking up drills later. Or whether it will just get lost in the toolbox somewhere. Chris said, hi Rebecca, thank you for sponsoring this Advent. Loves everything, even though it's only the 3rd day. They're excited to see what's to come. She did come down with COVID over Thanksgiving, but they are much better. Ooh. I'm so glad you're feeling better. You never know how COVID is going to get you. You know, how ill you're going to feel with COVID. It can vary so much from person to person. They said the cat is upset because she's been sleeping on the Add More Zest box ever since it came. And while the cat let her get into it on the 1st of December, but only let her take out 1 packet per day, and then pushes their hand away so she can go back to nap. Love it. Again, thank you for the lovely gifts. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the picture that is now in my head of a bit like, you know, those cat money boxes and things where they grab the coin and pop it into the money box. I envision it being something like that with a cat on an Advent box, saying, right, you've had your fill now, get off. It's my turn. C Little said, a few years back, they started creating personalised Advent calendars for the youngest, the only child left at home now. And they've joined in the last 2 years with the Add More Zest Advent calendar. She said, this year, my kiddo and I decided to include my husband as well. And made him a calendar with some of his favourite snacks. Said each day the 3 of us have Advent calendar time, where we take a few minutes to open our daily treat and share with each other what we received. Oh, that sounds lovely. It's lovely to have that moment each day. Said thank you and your family for taking on the creation of these Advent calendars that bring so much joy to so many of us. You've done an amazing job. Oh, thank you. They do excite me. They excite me so much throughout the year. I think Megan gets sick of me talking about them. Especially when I'm already talking about next year's, but yeah, I just love doing them and pulling all the little bits and pieces together, and doing the preparation as well throughout the year. It's a lot, it's a high number, so there's a lot of preparation, and one advent item can take a good couple of weeks to prepare depending on the level that it needs. But yeah, I love doing it, and I mix it up as well, just to stop it, you know, feeling as though I'm just doing one thing. But yeah, I've got so many ideas buzzing around my head of things that I'd love to do for next year already. Laura said, Merry December, Rebecca and all. She said, this is my first December Advent that she's participating in, and she's so excited. Said, the little green pot for separating drills is so cute. What a great idea. Says she'll no longer have to use her empty prescription bottle with a few coins. And that is, I think, that's something that I saw years and years ago as a tip and trick for separating drills, was a prescription bottle with coins in it. Don't tend to have the same type. Well, we do have some prescription bottles here, but not as many. Those bottles don't tend to be as sort of popular in the UK unless you're on a specific type of medication. So yeah, I just, you know, you've got to have cute. If you can have cute and pretty, then have cute and pretty. That's what I say. She says every morning she wakes up and gets her coffee and heads to her advent box to open the daily prize. She said she's like a kid in a candy shop. She said thank you. She knows a lot of hard work went into creating both the calendar and the canvas. She said, you've made me so happy. She said, see you tomorrow. I'm loving how it's making everybody kids at Christmas. I really am. It's all the enjoyment is, knowing people feel like kids at Christmas again. Because that's the best Christmas, isn't it, when you're kids, to be fair, more often than not. Cross Stitch and Tat says she is playing catch up with videos due to illness, and being busy with preparations for Santa and Mrs. Claus at the Air Force Base. Memories coming back from the discussions from last year. She said they had us set up in front of 2 different jets, and families could choose which jet they wanted their photo posed in front of. So more than 400 people were at the event. She says she's finally finished the gingerbread lighthouse from Dreamer Designs, and now she started Train of Dreams from Diamond Art Club. She said that one's so much easier to work on. She said, take care of yourself. Well, you take care of yourself as well, and make sure that you are feeling better and feeling tip-top for being Mrs. Claus. I will say quite often, not as much with White Christmas, to be fair, so it could be just the designs that I choose, but my Dreamer Design ones do seem to be a little bit more confetti than maybe Diamond Art Club are. I said it could be the designs I pick, but they are so stunning once they're finished. So stunning. It's just made me think, actually, the Le Scale de la Chase, I should have possibly got some magnetic bars for that as well while I was at it, and I could hang that one up. One Annie's a Griffin probably hash that name. I do apologise. But they've said they're really loving the Advent. Thank you. Happy to have everybody here and love that you're all here. Diana says, thank you, Rebecca, for everything that you do. She suffers from acute anxiety and she tried adult colouring for 2 years. She said, but after much frustration, a friend suggested diamond painting and she's hooked for life. Not as likely to colour out the lines, are you, on diamond painting? Or at least, you know, you might put a diamond in the wrong place and have to nudge it, but you don't ruin a whole picture just because of a hand slip. She said she does it so much. She said, and a psychiatrist has seen such a great reduction of anxiety in her. She said she now tells me to do it as much and as often as she pleases. Awesome. Take that, doctor's orders. That is a really good suggestion. She says, and you've been my greatest teacher. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad any tips and tricks that I can pass on can help. Just to keep it enjoyable, to keep it fresh, to just let diamond painting do what diamond painting does, which can be different for different people. It can be different for the same person at different times. Sometimes it's a way to switch off. Sometimes it's a way to concentrate hard on something and focus on something, depending on what it is you're doing. And sometimes it's just a chance to hang out with friends and have fun. Blossom Chops, she says, hi Rebecca, she said, could you please give us a link for that beautiful blue pen from Lazen Lathe Works. It's Lazen Lathe Works primarily work on like a custom basis ish, or they did when I purchased it. So they have a Facebook group, Lazen Lathe Works, and they have a shop on Etsy. And quite often, the likes of the one that I had, I think, was a standard, what they call a blank. So it's a square block of the resin that they then shape into a pen. And you just pick, well, I think I asked them via message, told them what sort of colours I was looking for. And they showed me a selection. I picked a colour. And then I picked what design type I wanted, i.e. whether it had waves in it or bumps in it, the sort of grip in it as well. And you could choose to have them thin, because I tend to have those ones thinner than the thick resin pens. And they're different. There's a different feel to them that's nice. So yeah, it tends to be more of a messaging thing than a specific one. And then what he does is he pops a listing up on Etsy with your name on it, and you pay your bill and he ships it out. So yeah, get in touch with him though. Did I can't remember if I had a link to his Etsy shop or not. No, I will have it in the YouTube video though, on pens, the unboxing video of the pens. I should have his Etsy shop linked there as well. Cindy says, hi Rebecca. She said she loves the Advent canvas. She's hoping next time that she can afford it, as it is very beautiful. She says, thank you for keeping me company while she's in rehab and learning how to walk again. Oh, you have a milestone to go. She says, please keep me in your prayers. Thank you for everything. She said, hugs. I will do, and I'm sure many people watching will as well, but you can do it one day at a time, one step at a time, whether that's a physical step or whether it's a mental step or whether it's, you know, a sort of exercise that helps build the muscle to lead to the step. One step at a time. Each day you can do it. Mysterious Days. She said, hi Rebecca. She said she thinks it's a wonderful thing to add to the giveaway is either one of the spare advent calendars from 2022 or 2023 diamond painting, or the actual calendar itself, or a logbook. They're all good ideas. I think I'm going to throw in a few things, to be fair, as sort of prizes. Or maybe what I could do, because I have more control over the Add More Zest things, is put in like 2 or 3 Add More Zest prizes in the drawer, and then email 2 or 3 options to the winner and say, you've won an Add More Zest prize, which do you want? And pop in an option of 2 or 3 different things, and then they can choose. So maybe I'll do that. I can't do the same with the diamond paintings and things because I have physical ones with physical pictures on them, but I can definitely do that with the Add More Zest prizes. But I like those ideas. She said day 3, and she is 3/4 done with the Christmas gift. She's blowing through, she says, because she has a week off work, and it's around 30 by 40. She said, so fingers crossed she can get another Christmas gift diamond painting done and set out by the time it's Christmas. She says also, she does have a bit more of an adult mind. She says, but Zesty Zone makes me think of a place that's NSFW. Love it. Love it. See, I like the name Zesty Zone. Now it's making me think of something else. Liz, she said, thanks for the giveaway. She says she's entered. She also said the sound is less echo and I am sounding better. Wonderful. I have put more stuff in this room. It still feels a little bit echoey to me, and it may be because I've not got many things on the desk itself, but we'll see once I've finished the sort of last tweaky type bits setting up in here. But it's definitely been better since I moved my craft stuff in and didn't literally have an empty shell. An empty shell of stuff in here. What we doing in the craft? Helena says, hi Rebecca, how big is the easel that I'm using? The easel that I use is an A3 easel. So it's an A3 size. In fact, if you would like to take a tape measure into a shop, it is about 45 centimetres across. This is the actual part that you put the painting on. 45 centimetres across, which in the other language is 17 3/4 inches, by 33 centimetres, which is 13 inches. Hopefully that'll help. Tape measure got another use. Yeah, that's just the measurements of all the way to the end of here, to the end of the little lip. Basically the part that you put the painting on. that's what I've measured, because the rest is just a prop. But yeah, it's classed as an A3 easel. But depending on what country you're in, I don't know if, because A3 is a paper size here, so I don't know what your equivalent would be. Oh, somebody also said they did reply to that comment saying they would like to know and where it was purchased from. My actual easel was purchased for me by a subscriber. Absolutely amazing gift, has been used pretty much every single diamond painting since, bar a few paint gem minis. It's used, very well used. But Megan did buy one from The Works in the UK. I think it was £10 or £12 for an A3 one. But the subscriber who got me this one got it from Amazon, I believe. So they're definitely about and available, and they're not like a really high priced item, I wouldn't say. And they are so much nicer on your back and things. And it actually gives a nice angle for the likes of WIP and Waffles as well. It gives just a slightly different angle than flat. And especially if working flat, if you know the camera's not angled for exactly flat, after quite a bit of diamond painting, it can go a bit funny on your eyes. Whereas I find with the easel, because it's already at an angle, it works out a lot better. Cat Lady said her larger white tray is a 4 kids at 147 tray. She said, and her white zesty tray, like her other zesties, are her go-to trays. Yeah, I think all the zesties will be Add More Zest trays, but it's some of the, would have Add More Zest in the back of them. But there is a few older 4 kids at 147 trays before we basically went to be a limited company and went full in, going, we're doing this. We're doing this. People like the trays, people like the stickers, and as they say, the rest is history that's still writing itself, probably. Tina said, woohoo, she said, for day 4. She is loving this painting and she is loving doing the same section. She said she can't promise that she doesn't try and beat me to the finish. You will not be the only one, Tina. There is often little, mini, friendly little races going on to see. And definitely some days that especially the ones where I waffle a lot or stop to measure easels with tape measures and things, people definitely have a bit more chance at getting caught up, because I do admit I can be quite quick at diamond painting, partly because of the amount of time I've been doing it, and also, the little cheats like moving my tray as close as possible to the painting and things also help. So yeah, it's always fun to hear when people do or don't manage to beat me. She says she has the round, so she has an advantage. Well, you'll be happy to know you don't have an advantage this time because of the round. We've actually done this painting differently, and it is exactly the same amount of diamonds on the round as it is on the square. And that's why the round is slightly bigger. So the design between the two is exactly the same, but the round has bigger diamonds, but they have exactly the same number. So if you beat me, it's a fair and square, Tina. It's a fair and square. She said, thank you so much for this event and for my company. She says she really looks forward to it every day. I do too. Lady Dax says she thinks she... Rude camera. Lady Dax says she thinks she has sort of caught up now. She said, well, at least with her Admiral Zest diamond paintings for Advent. She said she got a lovely little fox cross stitch in day 4. She said it is unfortunate for her, but fortunate for a friend, as she's no longer able to hold a needle. She says, but she does know that her friend will love it. Well, I'm so happy you have someone that you can pass it on to. It is one of those, it's unfortunate when you can't cross stitch, but at least diamond painting is about. Because a few years ago, diamond painting wasn't about either. Maybe you could do a blank canvas with the chart. I don't know if it'll work. It depends if it's one of the ones with quarter stitches, but maybe some of the charts could be turned into a diamond painting too. Diana said, hi Rebecca. She says she's so glad I'm starting to feel better. She says she's enjoying watching this Advent event. She says she didn't join just because she's just started, diamond painting this year. She is in for next year though. She said it looks like loads of fun. She says thank you for these videos. Well, you can join in with the diamond painting that you're doing. The idea is to just take a bit of me time each day up until December, just to enjoy yourself, enjoy your hobby, and hopefully have a finished diamond painting at the end of it. Inga, she said, oh, hang on. Let me just change colours, otherwise Tina's well and truly going to beat me. No, I'm only joking. Before I read out this next one. There we go. Inga. She said, hi Rebecca, and she said about the drills, she said sliding in the tray. She says she has the blue tray with glitter, and she says she's found that the round drills, which are slightly larger, do have trouble. So she uses it for squares, which is fine. She says she's using it currently to do the calendar painting. She says she's not tried after having now used it for a while to see if the rounds will slide better. She says white stock colour one works for rounds for her, no problem. Yeah, so there are different sort of textures in trays and filaments, and we are trying to, it's finding a balance of getting the colour variety, but trying to keep sort of, the high quality in relation to drills and them being able to slide about easy. Rounds can definitely be the trickier side of things, especially because some companies' round drills do tend to wear on the slightly larger side. It's like they have an extra little really thin film on the bottom, which works fine when you're putting it on a painting, but when it's in a drill tray, it can affect it. But yeah, there are some that sort of, in effect, will get better over time just because of the likes of the flecks of the glitter or the matte. But we have found at least one range or a couple of ranges of filament that really work for us, that we keep our stock trays in. And then we are sort of testing out, we've sort of got a few others lined up that we think that are going to give the really nice shine, but also give that smooth line, so things can only get better. Debbie, she says, I'm sounding better. She hopes I feel better. I do, thank you. She says at the moment she has an awful cold and a cough, She says she's not doing an advent with me this year, but she does watch my WIP and Waffle daily while doing a 70 by 50 from Evermoment. She says she's desperately trying to get it done for Christmas for her daughter. Well, I hope you get there. I'm sure you will. Bit by bit. That's what it takes, bit by bit. And you'll get there. And I hope you feel better soon too. Sherry said on day 2, she said she knew exactly what it was. She says a lovely improvement on her current little shaker. She said also, she says you can drop a small little piece of dryer sheet in the jar as well, and it helps with static. Like those little tiny square ones that I often put in my paint gem mini pots. If you pop one of those in with your little nut, then you won't end up with static from all the shaking as well. Because we know, or at least I know, from a very recent kitting up, that shaking with a dryer sheet really works. Mrs. Thaxton says she wants to buy a Heaven and Earth design chart. She says, but she has no idea how to order one. She says, can you make a video in the upcoming year on how to order a Heaven and Earth design from start to finish? She said, with everything for how to order your canvas to knowing what charts best to order. She said, thanks for everything you do for us. Yeah, I can try and have a look at that. I know I do have some videos in my Heaven and Earth design playlist. Which ones do I have on the website? So on our website, I do also have a videos tab where I try to put sort of more of the key learning videos. So I do have a Heaven and Earth design section. And I'm pretty sure I discuss it in the My Plans for Spare Diamonds. And I do have a video that's called How to Turn a Cross Stitch Pattern into a Diamond Painting. So I do discuss some of it there as well. So maybe check that one out, and I will bob that request on my list and see if I can figure out what to say enough to fit one of those in. I know when I redo my Heaven and Earth design mini, I am planning on going through sort of my prep and organisation process for that one. Debbie, she says she has 4 daughters and 13 grandchildren. Wow. She says, and they all live so close to me. And she said, yes, they do sap your energy. They do, she says, and she's only 55. They're just absolute bundles of fun. I think that's the one thing. Well, it's not the one thing. It's not the only thing. It's one thing that you forget from parenthood. That, and quite often the labour, is one of the, as they say, the easiest pains to forget. Otherwise, us women probably wouldn't have more than one. But yeah, how much they sap your energy, I don't think you realise. Because they only give it back to you bit by bit as they get older and older. It's not like all of a sudden they stop taking your energy and you realise. But yeah, they can be draining. Mary Ann, she says, do you clean the pickup pen tips? She says she's seen where replacement tips are available. She said, how long do the tips last and how do you know when to replace them? So you can clean them, especially if you use them a lot for AB diamonds. Quite often the AB diamonds, because they're covered in a coating, sometimes what actually can stop like your wax pen working and stuff as quick is it actually picks up just little tiny bits of that AB coating and sort of covers it. So in relation to cleaning, quite often I just use my finger to sort of wipe over it, and it will often take any of that off, though it is wax, so you could probably use a cloth or something, or a baby wipe. Baby wipes are amazing. You could use one of those. You can get replacement tips. We sell them for that particular pen. There are a couple of different types, different size of the screws, which we found out the hard way, for those replacement tips. So make sure you're getting the right ones for your pen. But I've actually got, say, about 4 pens on the go. I haven't replaced a tip yet, I don't think. Oh, maybe I have replaced my first one. But because it is wax, I've got one that's really quite flat. It's nowhere near as pointy as it was, but it still works for picking up AB diamonds. You can potentially heat it up a little bit and try and remold it into a tip, or you could shave it a bit like a carpenter does with a pencil. Get a knife and sort of shave it into a point a little bit more to make it last a lot longer. But when you find it's not comfortable for you to work with or to pick up ABs, that's when I'd change it. Oh, Tiffany's finally caught up on videos. Awesome. I'm finally caught up too. So day 8 is done. Thank you all so much for joining me. And tomorrow we will do the 9th. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.